I am seeing more and more people talk about this high at $110,000 being the cycle top or the macro high. So today, what I will do for you is I will talk you through if that could be the case, and if is the case, what you should do next. Also, I will run you through what I would do in this range right here if I did have no trades at all. So stick with me if you want to be profitable in the next week, because last week when I gave you this range right here, I told you look for the failed auction below the range, and that's exactly what happened. So first of all, I will run you through that setup that I've had on Bitcoin, and then I will give you the levels that you should be looking for next. But please stick with the first 4 or 5 minutes of the video, because when I explain what I was looking for on Bitcoin to take a long trade, that's the exact signs you should be looking for next on Bitcoin when the prices come as well. So let's run through what happened first. We had this triangle from $110,000 to $99,000, and we just ranged for a week, and then on the weekly open the price started to push down really heavily. And I told people right at the second, like, don't look for longs, don't look for positions right now. The only thing maybe you should be looking for is if we actually see this triangle break and then the reclaim of this triangle, which in this case happened for a really quick small time, but then just broke down to the downside. So we were just trading this range right here. Now what happened next is we went down below this range low right here and hit that $98,000. And for me, this was a good sign, right? Because if I see the price push higher back into the range here, that's a great failed auction for me. So I was looking at XO charts, and what I saw on XO charts was I did not see any signs of absorption when we first hit that level. You can see here the CVD was not making lower lows, which means there was no bullish absorption for me to trade. So I did not take a long trade right here. So I was not in a long trade at the first point here initially, but when I took the long position was when I saw a lot of shorts here being trapped below $100,000. I said to myself, well, okay, we have a lot of trapped retail on our hands right now, and if the price is going to be here sticking at these areas, well, these people will be trapped and they will have to leave their positions. And the way I recognized that by was looking at the footprint charts, the best chart in the world, for me at least. And you can see here at below those $100,000 levels, we had 36 million negative delta, 42 million negative delta. We had a lot of shorting going on here, and we had the open interest increasing on this candle as well, and also in these candles here as well, where we were seeing, small shorting, not the biggest shorting, but that's why I was waiting for a level to be reclaimed, and that level for me was $100,000. And when that level was reclaimed, what I did was I took my long position at 100,300 right here, I believe. I will show the position to you as well. I put my stop loss at the low, and then I aimed for the highs with my take profit one being at $103,000, around like this. So this was my position at the time, and the reason was simply because of trapped traders I saw on the footprint chart. And I also obviously let my team know about it as well. You can see here, I just told my team, hey, I'm getting into this position. If you want to be with me, you can get in as well. And that's what the team did as well. And, we're winning on both sides now because we don't just have a long position from $100,000. We also have a short position from these high right here at $108,000 because of the CVD divergence there as well. So the positions we have right now in the team, in Discord, is these positions right here. And this one already hit the take profit one spot as well. So we have a short from the range high, and then we have a long from the range low. So that's the best position to be in right now. If you want to be in those positions as well, you know where to go. I don't have to tell you. Now, you might ask me, well, what do I do now if I don't have a position and I'm looking for entries? Well, the first thing I will tell you is don't open a position right now. At this point, when the price is at $102,000, we're not hitting an important level. Now I will talk you through what levels you should be looking out for next, or what ranges you should be looking out for next. Now, the range that you see here, it's not the valid range right now because this level has already been used once. So what I do is I leave the level right now. So I just delete it and I look for new levels next. I go to my XO charts like so. I go to the daily, weekly, monthly untapped POC, point of control chart. And what you will see here is we have a weekly naked point of control at 96,500. So I mark it down right here. WN Podge, like this. And when you have this on your chart, what you will realize is, well, rather than using this low right here, I would rather use the one that we have where we have a support below it. So this is our current range right now, because if we were to push down below the range low like this, this would provide you with a long position right here if you see the CVD divergences and the open interest to increase like this. So you need the signs of absorption right here if you want to enter a long position. But this is the only long I would look for next on Bitcoin. Now, for the short, if you're looking for a short trade, what you should be looking for is the exact same thing for the short as well. So if the price were to push higher like this and took the high, what you should be looking for is, well, that went a bit too far. I didn't like that. I'll do it again actually, because I like my drawings to be neat. So if you want the price to push higher like this, what you should be looking for is the price to come down, take the highs like this, and then get the reclaim here of, so not the reclaim, but loss of the range high here, which would give you a swing failure pattern of these highs. So at this point, what you would look for is the CVD bearish divergences and also the open interest to increase, so you can get in a short position like this. So those two would be the trades that I would look for next if I was not in a position right now and if I was trying to trade this range right here. So those are the trades that you should look for on Bitcoin. Plus, I will give you one more to look out for as well, because it's an important one and because it's more of a scalp trade. If you're looking for a position where you want to take profit fast, what you should be looking for is the level we have, a daily naked point of control at 105.5k. So just above these highs right here, we have another daily untapped POC level. And what I would look for here is the same thing I would look for these levels as well. So I would look for the price to push higher like this, or whatever it does here, and then price to push higher there. And then I would love to see I would love to see the footprint chart showing high delta here, which would signify that, okay, people are trying to long the market here. And if I'm seeing the people long it there, but the price is pushing down, that would be a good sign that, okay, people will be trapped at above those DN Podge levels, which means for me could be a really good short trade there as well. But if you don't know how to scalp trade, I would 100% just look for this range right here, because again, you can make a lot of money by just trading ranges. And if you want another example of this, let's go to the Ethereum chart as well. I will analyze that for you as well. What we had on Ethereum was we had this range I've shared with you on last week as well. We had another support level at 3090, but the problem was it didn't react. So the level that reacted was the daily naked point of control at the 3025 level. And we saw the price to push up back into the range and then back to these support levels here, and then now we're back into the range as well. So what I would look for next on Ethereum is a trade that you can actually trade right now if it comes in the next 24 hours. What I would look for is I want to see the price push down to the 618 level that lies just at that daily naked point of control there as well. So that would provide you with a beautiful long position like this. This is how I would do it. Boom. But you would have to have the condition that we come down there with the CVD divergences and the open interest to increase. So if you're seeing the open interest increasing, if you're seeing the CVD making divergences, this is a beautiful long position that you can take as well. So I hope that was clear for you. I hope I made my levels clear for you. And for last, the cycle top thing, I think what you should look for when people are telling you that we might have a cycle top or we might have the macro high put in is, well, you don't need to guess. Because these highs right here, or any high that you will put in, will just look just like the cycle top. If you look at the cycle tops we had in the past, with the $69,000 or whatever levels that you were trading in the past, these highs were looking exactly like these highs right here. There was no difference. So the chances of you finding something that would indicate that it's a cycle top will be really low. And the best way, the most profitable way for me that I have actually got an edge over the market by understanding the concept was that I don't need to know if it's the macro top. What I need to know is what are the probabilities of it being the macro high. So for me, the probabilities change when we lose big levels. So for me, what are the big levels on the chart? Well, the first one is this weekly NPOC level right here. If we were to come down and have no reaction from these levels and start losing $93,000, well, that would be a good sign that, okay, now this range is showing a clear sign of weakness here because we went to the highs, we tried taking the highs, we couldn't, now we're going back to the range low. And at this point, would I look for longs after hitting these levels for 7 times in a row? Probably not. I would still look for it, but the chances of it actually holding would be really low. So for me, one of the biggest signs that this actually could be the macro high would be losing the $96,500 to $94,000 range, that area right there. If we lose that area, it does look like the chances of this being the macro high increases. But what I would do at that point would be looking for my NPOC, the untapped point of control level at $80,000 right here. I do believe this is the biggest support level we have because of the context and how much absorption that this one caused at the time as well. So I think great level right here, but if we lose these areas right here, I think the chances of this high being the macro high increases significantly. So that's what I would say. I hope I made my points clear for you. And if you want to, when we hit these levels, if you want to see my actual reaction, or if you want to get into trades with me, have my daily analysis, you know where to go. I'll be in Discord, I'll be with my team, so I'd love to see you there as well. See you next week on the next week's update, and bye-bye.